Hi everybody. So we are back about using tools, networking tools. Right? So the first networking tool that we will be using is called the ping. Now, if a ping actually works where you're at, then what it means is that you're networking between your PC, the origin of where you are actually doing the ping, to a particular machine, your destination or your target machine is probably working, right? And and ping can tell a lot about what is the underlying network conditions. Right? A ping, however, cannot test for the availability of a service. For example, we can't really check whether an email service is running good or web server application like Apache is actually working as it should. But particularly, you can find out whether a machine that is hosting a certain service, for example, like an email service or a web service, is actually alive or not alive, and what are the conditions of the network between your PC or between your machine and the particular other machine that you are testing it to, right? So let's play around with our ping here and try to look. So I'm running something on my machine, and I open up my terminal here and I run ping. For example, I want to find out stuff about iium.edu.my, right? So ping iium.edu.my, right? So what kind of results would I get over here? So let's wait and see. And we can see that in the first information here, it tells us that ping has resolved the web address iium.edu.my to this IP address. Right? So I'm pinging from outside of UIA, so I'm getting a particularly a uh, public IP address over here. If you're doing it inside of UIA, you probably get a private IP address. Now, if you can notice here, ping is not giving any results, right? And let's press Ctrl C to cancel this, right? It says here 39 packets transmitted, 0 received, 100% packet loss. Now, for some servers uh, in Malaysia or some servers in UIA, we particularly have a firewall filter that prevents any kind of ping messages to be sent to the server, right? So this is kind of hard to evaluate, but the drawback of having such a packet filter is that, not only the system administrator themselves cannot find out the performance of the network responding to ping, but you know other people cannot as well, and you can't really evaluate how good your connection is uh, as when it's trying to contact ium.edu.my, for example. But if you another example is, if we try to ping google.com, and if you see, if we try to ping google.com, the same thing would actually appear. One of the first things that we will see, right, is that ping resolve google.com to this IP address, right? And we'll try to start pinging, sending 64 bytes each to the server 5827.61.99, which is actually google.com. As you can see, there is a bunch of sequence ICMP packets being sent, and this they give you certain statistics here. For example, the sequence number, the time to leave for each packet, and the time it takes to ping the particular machine google.com. Now once we want to stop, we can press Ctrl C, and we can see 36 packet transmitted, 36 received. That means there's no packet loss, 0% packet loss, and the overall time takes about 42 milliseconds here, 42,000 milliseconds. Now RTT stands for return time rate, and it gives you some kind of statistical values, minimum, average, maximum, median deviation, tells you the statistics. So even though the minimum here, I mean the fastest that we can get to google.com is 19 milliseconds. On average this is 21 milliseconds. The longest is 26, right? So, and there's not a lot of difference in trying to communicate on the time difference here, based on the median deviation. So you can see that there's a 0% packet loss, so this is a good thing. Now if you have a lot of packet loss, right, now a lot of packet loss can mean a couple of things. Particularly you have problems with your physical network. This is, for example, a bad wireless line, a bad LAN cable, right, can cause packet to somehow being dropped or packet being lost. Now there are many other reasons for this to happen, but this is quite common to see packet loss when the network quality or the line quality between you and the machine is somehow affected. So ping can be a good tool to test whether your network is actually whether what's wrong with the network, whether there's a bad wire or there's a good something wrong with the wires between, or the cable connectors are maybe wet or moldy in that sense, right? So okay, so but most of these cases are realistic things that could happen. Other things that could actually affect is that we will find out that the time delay is really high between one machine to another. Usually it will take about at most 100 milliseconds. But if you're getting very large delays in this, then this is something to be concerned about, right? So usually delays could happen in a router or between your PC and a machine. Now these delays could happen due to maybe congestion in the network, uh, just a lot of messages being retransmitted. Now there are other tools to study what packets exist in the network, which we'll be covering in the next web tutorial or web lecture, right? So I'll see you in the next lecture soon, right?